everybody in the game chat needs to go to party chat. Just bear with me for a few seconds. Yeah, so welcome back to round 5 of the USA GP. Apologies for that, but I was in the game chat by accident. This time we've got a decent number of drivers, got some new drivers here. So PMK Cassie G was here last week. VRT Warren, Yost, Jordan, Taze Leroy, Chapalele, Yuri Games, Valentino, Guli, Gavin, YouTube, PMP Baboon J is here as well. So nice to see new drivers coming in. 19 drivers this time in this lobby, so welcome all. So hopefully it'll be a good race. I know these drivers are quick. Quite a lot of drivers in this session are very quick, so expecting a good race around here in USA. You can battle here at the long straight heading towards the third sector. And welcome to the people in the chat as well. So we're just waiting to go to the lobby. Mostly people are here, so we're just gonna wait. What happened to the grid? Well, there's brand new people here. Gavin's one of them, Babu J's one of them, Guli's one of them, Valentino, Your Games, Chapalele, Taze Leroy, ILRT Jordan, Yost, NUF1, Dylan Warren, and that's it. There's the new drivers that are in here. So, and the French driver as well, who's just joined, is here as well. So hopefully it'll be a good race. I know some drivers are very quick, especially the ones I would dare say Warren, Yost, Jordan, Taze Leroy can be one of them, Chapalele can be one of them, Valentino is one of them as well, Guli's definitely one of them, Gavin's one of them, and the rest of them, they're decent drivers. So hopefully it'll be a good race. So many fast drivers, man. I think that's everybody here. 19 drivers overall who are in this session. Het gaat goed en met jou. Just waiting to go in this lobby. Yes, last week's race was a bit of a mess. As Dylan Warren's here. Last week's race was a bit of a mess, but thankfully nobody here. I know that is not dirty in here, so it'll be a good race, and I can't wait for this race to see how it pans out in USA. Yep, I wish you luck, mate. Wish you good luck. To the rest of the drivers as well, good luck. Competitive drivers from different league racing. I've raced some of them as well. All 20 drivers in here, so I think we should be off and ready to go to USA. And the strategy around here, I don't know. Thank you, Val. Hello, Stormzy. Yeah, so I don't know the strategy around here. I forgot. I think it's soft mediums or softer hards. I wonder, but I don't know. I've not raced here for a long time, and for some reason everything's reset. Can't believe it's going to be the Australian GP next week. Pure Fantasy, I hope I'm in the points. This will be hard. Yeah, it will be hard, mate. Just try your best. Good luck out there. A lot of competitive drivers and fast drivers in this league. A few VRT drivers in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Nova. Sorry about some good names in the lobby. Yeah, no, sorry about the black box on the screen. Someone invited me to a party. I don't think they realise they're doing comms. Where's Liquid? I haven't seen him for a while. I don't know, mate. I don't commentate in none of his leagues that he's in. He's not in ILRT no more. He's in a different esports team. I don't know which one he's in. Yeah, Jordan recently joined ILRT. So good luck to him on his few races in his debut. I don't know what we're waiting for, but there's nice. I think someone's just left, so I think we're waiting for that one driver to come back. Hopefully he's back in time, so it's not too late. Plenty of time for me, of course, but for others. What's people's predictions for the Australian GP next week? I am suffering a bit of a cold, so bear with me if I do make mistakes. I'll keep sniffing now and then. I'm trying to read your comments out, but it's not loading for some reason. Hopefully, I think we'll get ready to go as well. It's not loading for some reason. Don't know why. It's just absolutely horrible. Right, we're finally into the session. It's Thomas. Should be a good one. Next is Aspect, aiming to go for his third race win in a row, but it could be difficult because new drivers incoming, so let's hope he can keep up his record, his third race win in a row. In fact, he didn't get it in Australia, did he, because some incidents occurred. He won in Bahrain, he won in Italy due to Mick Ulitz's mistakes. Can he win in USA? Arguably, he could have won in Australia, but those mistakes started happening, so I'm not going to talk about that one. Right, we're finally here into this qualifying session. Let me turn my game volume down as well, it's a bit too loud. That's the majority of drivers are opted to go for the softs. Two's on the hard, next is Aspect and Baboon J. Alex is on the medium, so we're just waiting for the drivers to come out now and see who's the first one out on track. Loads of fast drivers here. I can't wait for this race. A full 20 grid as well. It's nice to see a lot of drivers taking part in a midday race. And the Mercedes is coming out first. Is that Baboon J? Or is that his teammate? Who is his teammate? Alex. We're going ball with him. Yeah, that is Alex. So he's on the medium tyre. So let's see what he can do on them set of tyres in USA. The strategy should be soft to medium or soft to hard, isn't it? I think it is. It depends how long you can take your softs for. Now usually for me I struggle with tyre wear, but safety cars will be a factor, so it could help those people on the softs to extend their stint to go on the medium tyres. Now personally around here through these corners I usually struggle around here because I lose the momentum through these corners. It costs me a lot of time as well. This is the worst part of the track for me personally. Yeah, back in Japan I usually struggle around here. Brazil's not usually too bad because only like 1 or 2 corners. I reckon a lot of people will struggle with it. Depends how quick they can take it. Expect a lot of side-by-side action where Alex is now in the race. Alex picking up way too much throttle on the exit there. Hopefully he'll learn on his next lap. As as we come round turn 20 for Alex to start his flying lap, the Romanian driver, on course to set his lap time. So here we go then on the main straight, uphill braking, it's turn 1. Let's see how he takes it. Want to clip the apex and bring up the throttle as well. Careful of the traction, the extra turn 1 off camber corner. Now through here, you want to clip most of the curbs on the apex as well. There's already yellow flag, so that's quite a lot of cars down there as well. They are bunching up to try and start their lap time. "20 drivers, I know, right?" Big step up from last week's race. Approaching now turn 11 for Alex as we come onto this long straight here. There's a racing point behind him, we don't know who it is. That is either Pure Fantasies, can't be Pure Fantasies, I think he's Yuri Games in the racing point. His teammates on the outlap, so Yuri Games, nice to see him here, it's racing, and Pure Fantasies as well. Ending sector 2 to come on to sector 3, 102.8, I don't know what their lap time should be, how quick it is in the middle sector. Want to be careful, this is all about traction through these corners. Now the driver behind Alex is catching up rather quickly, so I think he should back out of it, or try not to distract Alex fully flat out through these corners. As we come round turn 19 and 20, car behind him will get hauled up, but that's his fault. So coming around the final corner to do a 133.8, and Yuri Games goes quickest with a 132.5, replaced by Taze Leroy, who goes a 10th quicker. So this lap time's already started to come in. Who else is about to cross the line? ILRT Jordan coming through turn 19 onto turn 20, rounds the final corner. Let's see what lap time he could set. Chapelade's gone quickest, his teammate Gavin's gone second, and Jordan has gone quickest by a few hundreds. Not much in it between Jordan and Chapelele. The VRT one has gone into third place ahead of Valentino. So the VRT drives up there, second, third and fourth. Yuri Games is seventh, as Gulli goes up into third place. It's a 131.2 for him in the Haas as well. So the VRT drives shows some quick performances. Ace has got into 5th place. Already some quick lap times popping in for the drivers. Young Lights is up into 10th place on the medium, so he can go much quicker if he opts to go to the softs. Baba June has crossed the line to do a 133.9 as Pure Fantasies crossed the line to set a 132.6. He's a 10th behind his teammate Yuri, who's up into 9th place and having a scrap with Alex. Don't know what those two drivers are doing, racing each other back to the pits. There's Nexus Aspect and the NUF1 is still in the pits. Laggy Race is out there, but he's invalidated as it says, so it must have been through the first set. So Yost is out there, so we'll stay on board with him as he's invalidated as well, so he won't set a lap time just yet. Drivers are fighting each other in qualifying. I've seen Alex and Yuri do it, now Jordan and Warren are doing it. It's only qualifying, saving for the race. So drivers have set their first lap times as the rest of them will come back to the pits. So interesting then, ILRT Jordan setting the initial lap time at 31.0 ahead of Chapelele, who also set a 131.0. Then Gulli behind him 2 tenths away, VRT Warren 4 tenths away, as Young Lights is going to hit the wall. Thankfully did not lose his wheel. Common mistake people have done, hitting the wall. Hello mate, how are you? Yeah, don't worry mate, it's early part of qualifying, you've got 11 minutes to improve, don't worry about it, you've got plenty of time mate. We'll see who else is out there then. Next Aspect's out there on the hard tyres, but I presume he's going to do a bit of bankers, and he's actually on his lap time. No he's not. I saw him using the OS, so I instantly assumed he was on his flyer lap. NUF1 there on his out lap as well. Laggy Race has not set a lap time, he's still in the pits along with Yost, who are validated. Everybody's in the pits except Aspect and NUF1, so we'll keep an eye on them. Where are they? He's through sector 1. Aspect is coming down into turn 12, coming through turn 13 and 14. You need to be careful. It's all about traction on the exit of these corners. Easy to light up the tyres if you're not careful. But I will get a better one. That's a good mindset, mate. Keep it up. So NUF1 is also on the softs as well, so we'll keep it on Aspect as he's closer to the line. Yost, V8, Taze, Leroy and Yuri are going for their outlaps. They're coming out the pits right now, only 6 drivers out on track. As Aspects rounds the final corner, start his fire lap in the Toro Rosso. Let's see what he can do. Won't be as quick as others, of course, because he's on those hard tyres. Coming uphill into turn 1, late camber. Careful of the exit of the, which he does, work his way up through the gears on the throttle. Now, for me personally, I don't really like these corners because I always struggle. Nothing wrong with them, of course, but it's just I absolutely struggle through these corners. Sometimes I can get it right and sometimes I can get it wrong all the time. In fact, 26.1 for Aspects as there's yellow flags. That's a Haas, Renault. As he's going now, so I don't know if he's spawned or he's getting out of the way for other people. There's a Renault behind Aspects. I don't know who that is. Is that can't be Gavin. That's Chapelele right behind. Next is Aspect Haas in the background as well. I think that's Gulli on his outlap. There's quite a lot of drivers that are starting to set their flying laps or begin to start their outlap. Coming down to late braking zone, Laggy Racer in front of him. Hopefully he gets out of the way, which he could compromise Aspects as he was in the racing line, but just got out of the way for Aspect. As we come down through turn 16. Now fully flat out through turn 17 and 18. Coming round the penultimate corner for Aspect. Take most of the curb of the entry. Now coming through the final corner. And the guy behind him, Chapelele, will start a lap time, so keep it on. I think Aspects invalidated it, as it says on. Yes, he has. So he's unfortunately for him, he's invalidated, but he's on the hards anyway, so I don't think that's a race tyre he's going to use. On board with Taze Leroy, ending the first sector. I didn't quite see what the first sector was like for him. Taking it nicely through the corners, executes his way around this track very nicely indeed. As we come on to the back straight, as we come down to the heavy braking zone, it's turn 12. This is where most overtakes are likely to occur in this race. Jordan's on his outlap, so keep an eye on here. Where's Chapelele? Did Leroy lock up? Is he using no ABS? I think he did lock up. I don't know if I saw it correctly, but who else is about to cross the line? The Red Bull is about to cross the line. That's probably Jordan up into first place. He comes down into turn 1. The Alpha comes across the line to start his flyer lap. The pink racing point, I don't know which one it is. The other racing point is coming across the line. Where can he go? I think he's just about to start his flyer lap, so never mind. The Williams ahead of him, don't know who that is. Who just got into second place? Was that Juice? Yeah, it was Yost who's got up to second place. Good lap time from him as Leroy puts himself up to 6th place, so good lap from him as well. VRT Warren apparently is invalidated his flying lap, sorry. If he's actually done it or not, I don't know, because he's still going. There's Gulli behind him, 2 tenths quicker. Where can this lap time put him? It can put him in a 31.0 if he keeps this pace up. So keep an eye on the Frenchman as he comes through turn 16 onto turn 17 and 18. Turn 90 now to the penultimate corner. Don't know how wide you can go before the validation starts to happen. The Williams have spun and he's coming back into the pits. And where will Gulli go? It's pole position, provisional pole position, 30.9 for the Haas driver. A 10th quicker than Jordan. Is he on a lap time? It looks like he is, so we'll keep on board with him as he starts to run out of EOS. Surprised not starting in the validation, so I don't know how wide you could take it through there. He doesn't improve his lap time, he stays in second place, so we'll go on board with Chapelele. Running out of fuel. Is he on a lap time? I think he is. Majority of the drivers, he's validated his lap time. We'll go on board with someone else then, the French driver Ace. I think he's just crossed the line to put him in 7th place. His teammate in 8th place ahead of Yuri Gaze, who came back to the pits, and unfortunately for him, it validates his lap time as well. So Valentino, who's about to start his lap time, we'll go on board with him. He's got good pace, this Williams driver has. Don't know if it was him or VRT Warren who spun at the final corner, but anyways, coming uphill braking into turn 1, late apex again, off camber. So tricky on the traction, but it managed to do it nicely. It's coming to turn 3. Turn 3, 4, 5. Complex corners. Take most of the apex. I think it's a bit too much, but drifted about wide. majority of drivers are back into the pits. It's end sector 1, he's gone 2/10 quicker in the Williams with that pink helmet. He said last night he was going to go with the pink helmet, which he has, so he's followed me as well. Nice pink helmet, looks like exactly like mine as well. As we come down into turn 11, careful on the throttle, be patient at the corner, coming onto this back straight with DRS. Hopefully be a good swim race. So look at the tyres for what, 7th to 1st, not too far away from Leroy as well. The midfield I presume will have a good fight as well as we come down into turn 12 to turn 13 and 14. All about the traction at the exit of these corners. Gonna be nice and patient as gradually you work your way up to the throttle. Through turn 16, now coming through to turn 17 and 18. Personally for me this is a good track, but the most place I struggle with is sector 1. After sector 1 I'm mostly fine. Coming through turn 19 and 20. So most drivers tend to run out of VOS and he comes back into the pits, so he won't improve on the lap time. We'll have to wait and see what he does later in this qualifying session. I don't think he wants to start 11th place. Gavin's out there, it looks like he's invalidated his lap as well. So unfortunately for him, but he's got plenty of time to come back to the pit. So most drivers are struggling with the validation, but I don't know where. So Euro Games on his outlap, the Dutch driver, the Racing Point, his teammate is still in the pits. NUF1's on his outlap. Yeah, there he is. So our predictions for pole positions could be very close between Gulli, Jordan and Joost. The two Dutch drivers chased after the Frenchman as Joost is on his outlap. Chapelele and Gavin are quite close as well. Gavin 3/10 shy of Chapelele, his teammate in 4th place. That's not his teammate, he's in the Haas, sorry. Well, VLT1 can put some amazing performances. I don't know if he's driving the wheel or pad. He's been switching from 2 of them. So on board with Yuri Gates then as he rounds the final corner to start his flying lap. He's currently down in 10th place. And not much in it between himself and Valentino and Baboon J as well, down in 12th place. So as we come uphill, braking into turn 1. Didn't really shift down like I thought it would, but nicely on the exit, coming down to turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 and turn 6. Want to take most of the corners as you enter as well. And that's an invalidation for him, unfortunately. Took too much of the corner there, so he will not be happy with that one. Baboon J's on his outlap. NUF1 will go on board with him, and I'll keep an eye on Jordan and Joost as well as they're on their outlaps. VRT's on his outlap as well. VRT1, sorry. There's plenty of VRT drivers here. Yellow flags down on the straight, but that's nothing as V8 has retired from the session. So still waiting from Nexus Aspect and Leggy Racer. Nexus Aspect usually tends to wait to the very end. He doesn't really set any bankers. He just goes out there, then comes back in straight away. So we'll find out what Nexus Aspect can do later on in this qualifying session. But for me, as NUF1's gone 3/10 quicker in the first sector, so this could put him up to 13th or 12th depending how much time he can gain through the third sector. Joost is on his outlap, he's coming through turn 8, 9, 10. Coming through the penultimate corner as we come through the final corner as well for NUF1. And he comes across the line. Where can he place himself? It's up into 12th place, so ahead of Baboon J and Pure Fancies, who's on his outlap. Right, who else is out there? Yuri Games is out there yet again, but I want to keep an eye on Jordan. Sorry. What's his middle sector like? 3/10 quicker. This could put him on pole position if he can keep it up. So this is a good lap time for the Dutchman. And Jordan's on his flying lap as well, so keep an eye on him. Gulli's on his outlap, so is Chape, Lele and Gavin. As we approach the penultimate corner for Joost. He can drift out. Oh, he's invalidated it, unfortunately for him. That's his lap time done. That's quite unfair actually. I've seen drivers go much more wider than that and they don't get an invalidation, so that's quite unlucky for Joost. This is very strict. Oh look, Jordan's invalidated as well, so Gulli could possibly be on pole position depending on what Chapelele can do in the Renault or VRT Warren, and he's invalidated as well, so that's his lap time done. So Gavin could possibly stop him as well. Tage Leroy's on his flying lap ahead of the ace driver, the Frenchman, in 8th place. Young Lights is on a flying lap as well, as he improves slightly through the first sector. VLT Valentino compromised his final exit, and he started his flying lap. But look at that, there's a bunch of cars ahead of him and behind him as well. I'm saying that there's only 2 cars ahead of him, but I think, is that Chapelele? Chapelele's on his flying lap as well. Yeah, he is. So best hope he don't make a mistake or catch up to him quite quickly. And what can Gavin do through the end of the first sector? A 24.7, and he improves slightly. Well, I want to keep it out. Who's that? That's Warren going wide. Goulet then coming towards the turn 16. Chapelele is likely to stop him because Jordan and Yost have invalidated their lap times. Coming through the penultimate corner. Not going too wide, so that's a good sign for him. As we come through the final corner, can he get quicker? It's a 30.7. He's gone 2 tenths quicker, so he's currently on provisional pole. But Chapelele could stop him if he's gone the 10th quicker, and this lap time will put him into 2nd place, unless he can find more time through the 3rd sector. As Ace has gone quicker than Tage Leroy, who's about to finish his lap time. Where can he put himself? In 8th place. Yuri Games is invalidated, but he still starts in 9th place, so we'll keep an eye on Chapelele. Don't want to go out too wide, which he doesn't. Coming through the final corner. Can he get a pole position? Can he get on the front row? It's a 30.8. He's got on the front row with Gulli, so he's beat Jordan and Yost. And that is qualifying done. Next is Aspect. Has not set a lap time yet. It's his one and only lap time. And he's on the mediums as well, so he's going for that longer stint than everybody else. And he puts himself up into, where did he go? 19th place, so almost last. V8 field is last. And bear with me because I've got to go to the toilet. As Jordan's gone quickest, I thought he invalidated his lap time. But he must have got across the line in time, so he's on pole position. Jordan, he's absolutely surprised me. Well done. Alright, I'm back. So Jordan's on pole position, which I didn't expect because he invalidated it his last run, but he must have got across the line in time to start his brand new one. So I wonder if it's on 2 lap old softs, because there's no way he would have time to go into the pits again. That should show me. So He's ahead of Gulli, the Frenchman. Chapelet third in the Renault. Yost, sorry, is in 4th place in the Toro Rosso. Warren's in 5th, so most of the VRT drivers up there. Let's hope Valentino will get a good race. He's down in 12th place. He's on the medium, so expect him to go much longer in this race. So let's see how it pans out for him. Yeah, it is a full league mate, unfortunately, but can be reserve drive if you want. So from 12th down to 19th on the medium tyres, and V8 has opted to go to the soft strategy. Can't wait for this race because I know these drivers are very quick, and hopefully they'll put on a good show as well. This could be an absolute amazing race. I don't know, this battle for the win between Jordan, Gulli, Chapelet, Yost, Warren as well, don't discount him, Gavin. I think 7th downwards. I don't know if they could have a chance of winning this race, depending on how quick their pace is. The top 6 I expect to be fighting for the race win. Never know, Valentino could spring into a surprise with his race pace. As they all start up to line up to the grid for this 28 lap race, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Gulli could have a chance of getting Jordan into turn 1 because he can get a better start and he has the inside line. So let's see how Jordan will defend. I reckon 4th place has got a good chance as well, up into turn 1. Who are we waiting for? Everybody's here, so we're just waiting for the lights to go off. There they are then, as they start counting down for this USA GP. We are waiting for round 5 of the USA GP. Who gets a better start? Is it Jordan or Gulli? We'll have a look. Jordan defends the inside but goes to the outside. As Gulli will try and go down the inside. Chapelet around the outside. There's multiple cars fighting as well. They all make it clearly into turn 1. The Red Bull in the background almost takes the Haas out as Taze Leroy goes side by side with the Alfa Romeo, who will have to yield out. One of them will eventually, as Taze Leroy makes his way through, and the Red Bull has caused an incident at the back of the field as well. So that's NUF1 in the Red Bull, who has retired from the session. Now will that cause a safety car, I don't know, but Jordan is now safe from Gulli. He's up into 1st ahead of Gulli. Eustace is up into 3rd. He's made 1 position off of Chapelet. So mostly everybody executed their way around turn 1. I didn't see any contact made. Red Bull almost hit the Haas, but I don't know what happened to NUF1 as this battle's going down further through the field. Jory Gaze versus Alex. He's got past him. Pure Fantasy has got past Baboon J, sorry. And where's Valentino? There he is, coming down the inside of the Haas. The Ferrari makes a late move. Who's that? That's Laggy Racer. Very late move indeed. That could have gone worse. But Laggy Racer's going to go around the outside now if he can make it. Valentino slightly to push him out wide. Nothing wrong with that, of course. It prevents his chances of overtaking into this corner, into turn 16. So Valentino has dropped 1 place off the start. But anyways, 3/10 is the gap. Look at that, the top 3 are very close to each other. We have to wait for DRS to see how it all pans out. As it head on to lap 2, so only 1 drive, no safety car so far, no major contact into turn 1 thankfully. As Jordan has a 3/10 advantage over Gulli, who's up his rear end. And look at his ERS as well, saved mostly of it. Compared to Jordan as well, he's got most ERS as well saved with him. So, who has made the most and who has dropped the most? We'll have a look. Well, the top 2 stay where they are. Like I said, Yost has got past Chapelet. And look at that, Yost looking very interested behind Gulli as well. BRT Warren stay where he was. Gavin's in 6th place, he stayed where he is. Leroy's got past Ace. Yuri Gaze stayed where he was. Alex has got past Pure Fantasy, who was dropped 1 place. And Alex going very wide at that corner. Valentino's dropped 1 place as well. And we'll go to the top 2 anyways because they're fighting. Yost has got past Gulli before the straight, I think. He got past him down into turn 11. Come through turn 12 now. Let's see who breaks later. As Yost clearly stays ahead of Gulli. Look further behind to see who's battling. Pure Fancies versus Alex as he goes around the outside. This is what I like about this track, because you can fight all the way down through turns 17 and 18. They go side by side now, both of them. Alex has the inside line, but will Pure Fancies do a little bit of a switchback manoeuvre? Yes, he will. But he can't get past him, so we'll have to stay behind him unless Alex will make a mistake, which he is. He's going very wide through that corner, and Pure Fancies is ahead, unless Alex will outbrake him into turn 19, which he doesn't. So Pure Fancies stays ahead of him. Back to the front, DRS is enabled. Joost has pulled away. Jordan's pulled away from Joost into second place, and there's something actually going on behind. They're still fighting, Alex and Babu J as well, who's looking very interested. Valentino's right behind him, 3 wide into turn 1. Who makes it out ahead? There's still 3 wide. I presume Alex will have not have enough space through turn 1, so he'll have to yield to Babu J. Valentino 2 places at once, so he's up into 11th place on those medium tyres, crucially. So Jordan's got a 1 second gap over Joost, which is good news for him because he won't have DRS, but Gulli will, so he's going to have to keep an eye on him as the Haas driver's got past Alex. Alex dropping a load of positions, but who's that? That's a Mercedes who spun, and he's came back as a track, and Alex and the Haas has spun as well. I wonder if he got caught out by the spinning Mercedes. And Aspect's left the session, so I don't know if he's lagged out or probably just rage quit after that. Babu J caused the incidents as he spun at the exit of turn 9, but look at that. Laggy Racer versus Young Lights has come down into turn 12. Anyways, Pure Fancies versus Valentino. They're coming side by side now through turn, is it 13, 14? This is a good combination of corners to battle with. Trying to go out wide so he can slingshot his way through the inside as Young Lights picks up a penalty. Back to the front, Joost has managed to find his way into... Look at that, Gavin's right behind... Chapelele, sorry. Chapelele is right behind him as well. This is a very interesting battle for the top 4 drivers. Warren's there as well. Gavin's dropped 1.7 behind. He's got Taze Leroy behind him, so let's see if Taze will make him move into turn 1. Will he try and go for it? No, he's wise. He'll stay behind and wait for the big straight to come up. So this could be an interesting battle for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th as well. Warren's dropped back slightly. He's still in the DRS range though, so let's see if he can catch up as well. There's more battles going on further down the field. Laggy Race has got past Young Lights and he's up into 12th place. Alex right behind him. I don't know if Alex got a bit of front wind damage the way he's turning in. Looks like he has, and he doesn't want to be doing that too often as well. Let's hope Nexus Aspect can rejoin back to the session. Right then, so Jordan will have to defend from Joost. Joost has got DRS on the back of him. Let's see, he's got enough overspeed to try to overtake. And look at that, Gulli's under pressure from Chapelele as well, but Gulli's got DRS to defend from him. Let's see if Joost will make a move into turn. No, he won't, he will stay behind him. Same as Chapelele, he'll stay behind him as well. What about Gavin and Taze Leroy? Nope, he stays behind him. What about the drivers behind him who are battling? Valentino's there. Valentino could have a really good chance if though he's on the medium tyres. He can go much further in this race and hope for a safety car later in this race. And there's Young Lights, Laggy Racer as well, still fighting over 12th place. And V8's just got past Alex. Alex is absolutely struggling. He's dropped 5 places in 4 laps. So I don't know if he's got front wing damage, has the Romanian driver. But he's certainly struggling on this track as Chapelele has came into the pits on lap 5. So I don't know, do they usually pit this early on lap 5? He's going on to the medium tyres, so I think it's a 2-stop from I don't think the mediums can go to the end, so it's going to be a 2-stop for Chapelele. Unless he's gonna, yeah, that's a good idea in fact. If you try to go for the undercut on these drivers battling this train, these drivers will be stuck in dirtier on older tyres, which means Chapelele, depending where he will rejoin though, if he rejoins in traffic, he's rejoined at his 60th place, so the traffic ahead of him live now. Alex, he needs to clear them as quick as possible, but let's see if the top drivers will pit this lap. Chapelele will now hope for if Jordan and Joost will start fighting even more to lose time from him. And further behind you can see the Ferrari in the back of the Renault. Not close enough, neither of them to make a move. So we'll go on board with Gavin, who's under pressure from Leroy behind him. And Leroy will overtake him down the inside into turn 12, but no, Gavin outbreaks him. Cuts most of that corner, which you can do. Don't think he'll give you a warning. As Gavin's now got ahead. into turn 13 and 14. Let's see if Leroy will dive down the inside. No, he won't. He stays back. And he's got Ace behind him as well, the French driver, looking all over the Irishman. As Live Now's got past Alex. Oh, he's going to hit him. And I thought he would send him into a spin, which he thankfully didn't. But they're still fighting. And who's that Venom? That's Chapelele, isn't it? This could really hold Chapelele up. He needs to overtake him as quick as possible. Oh, could he have a bit of front wing damage from that? A little bit of contact with the McLaren. Don't think he has any, but look at that. Warren, Leroy, Gavin are in the pits, going onto the medium tyres. So I wonder if Chapelele, depending how much he got hold up behind those drivers, oh, he's in the pits. Chapelele might have got a bit of front wing damage from that collision. Oh, he's left the session, so that's it from him. Not really happy. So it's up to Jordan now, Eust and Guley. This is what happens when you pit early, because you rejoin the traffic. So Warren's rejoined in 12th place ahead of Alex. Gavin's in 14th place ahead of Leroy. And Valentino's got a penalty for exceeding track limits, I presume. Warren needs to clear this McLaren as quick as possible. Who's struggling through these corners? Up into turn 10 we go. Look at, I can't really focus on that because look at the top two, and there's yellow flags, and that's probably Alex, as Yuri Gates has got past ACSE. And who's that Mercedes who's going off the track and struggling? That's Babu J, sorry, not Alex, apologies for that. Alex is under pressure from Gavin, he's defending for his car, he's got full wing damage, you can see on the right, left hand side of his screen. And Gavin's made the move down into turn 12. Like I said, Alex never gives up. No matter which driver he's fighting, he never gives up. No matter if on the fresher tyres, faster cars, it just doesn't give up. So the top three have stayed out there. Jordan saved the ERS, and the Mercedes has spun again. And Yost doesn't look to make a move into turn 1 on Jordan. He's got Cooley right behind him as well. That the yellow flag's still there. Babu J is absolutely struggling, and he has got part of his front wing missing as well. As Alex has now entered the pit lane, probably a good idea to change his front wing as well. That Mercedes in the last place is struggling. Right, so Valentino in 6th place, going for that longest strategy as Baboon J's finally retired. Hopefully he hasn't crashed himself out, which causes a safety car. And fortunately the safety car is not appearing. This will ruin some drivers' race if the safety car came out, as VRT1's finally got past V8 field. And Gavin's got past him as well, so V8 field must have struggled through those corners, because he's dropped back quite a lot behind them as well, as Valentino goes down the inside into turn 12. Taking most of that curb on the entry, and he's done it well ahead of ACSC. Now he's got Yuri Games ahead of him. These tyres at this moment in time will be much better than the drivers on the soft tyres. I wonder when these top 3 drivers will start to pit. None of them are going to make a pit stop. I think right about now, or lap 8, you should start pitting and change onto the mediums. So Warren's up there into 9th place on the mediums as well. He's got Young Lights ahead of him who started on the mediums. So what's the gap then between those drivers? Live Now's left the session. Right, so the gap is, as Valentino's got past Yuri Games into turn 1, they still go side by side, but they both make contact. What they're both doing, that could have ended very badly. Thankfully he didn't send him into spin, and Gavin, well, tried to get past Laggy Racer, but Laggy Racer's dived back down the inside on him, and he remains into being 10th place. Please let this be a clean battle between Yuri and Valentino. I don't want to see any dirty action between these two. That's cost even more time than it should have for Valentino. I think Yuri Games will be powerless to defend from Valentino. He's got ACSE behind him, but way too far away. And they both make contact again. What are they both doing? As Valentino's made the move down into turn 12. Oh, what is ACSE doing? Now, that was rather silly. I wouldn't say optimistic. I would say, I don't know. I don't want to be too mean, but Gavin's got past Leroy and Lucky Race as well. Lucky Race has dropped 2 places from Leroy and Gavin. And yet again, these 3 drivers do not pit. As Valentino still fighting Eurogames, I didn't even know. Eurogames fighting back, not giving up. And Valentino's finally got ahead of him, but Yuri will have DRS. Let's see if he has a much better exit coming out this final corner. As he continuously bothers Valentino, which is losing more time. Valentino trying to bait the slipstream, and wisely he doesn't go for the move in turn 1. He's way too far back. I hope these 2 don't have full wind damage from ACS's move down into turn 12, as Warren's got to pass Young Lights up into turn 1. Nicely done from Warren. It's quite crucial, I don't want to lose much time, but look at that, Young Lights is still fighting him, going side by side to turn 3 and 4, but eventually has to yield. So the top 3 are still on the same strategy. Well, Jordan's actually pulled away from Yost. Still on the same tyre, man. They've not pitted yet. I wonder when these 3 will start to pit. I think it's going to be a 1 stop from the top 3, easily going on to the mediums at the end of the race. But what about Warren down in 8th place? What lap did he pit again? It was lap 6. Think it will be a 1 stop for him? I don't think it will be, to be honest with you. I don't think those tyres can really make it to the end. But will Jordan pit this lap? Yes, he will. The Toro Rosso will, and the Haas will as well. So easy 1 stop to the end as they pit onto lap 9, heading into lap 10. So Valentino, as he goes wide through the penultimate corner, out there on the mediums, he best hope for a safety car, which will definitely help his race, but it's too early for a safety car for him because he wants to go to the mediums to the softs, and the softs won't make it to the end. So let's see how long he'll stay out there for. So will Warren make it ahead of yes, he will, look at that, but that's because of the fresher tyres he's had at this advantage. Or will he make it ahead? Just ahead of Jordan. But with those Jordan with fresher tyres 4 laps younger than Warren's, let's see how long he can stay ahead of Jordan, Yost, and Gooley's down into 7th place. He's got Young Lights in between him, so that'll put a little bit of pressure off Yost, knowing that he's got a car in between him and Gooley. As pure fancies, the driver on the softs has not pitted yet. Is that Yost going down the inside on 2 drivers? And that's Jordan, sorry. Look at that, 2 moves into 1. As Warren will take advantage as well with DRS. This is crucial for Warren to get past now. Doesn't want Jordan to pull away from him. Wants the inside line, which is the preferred way. They both come down into turn 12. Late braking for both of them, and they're still side by side. It's turn 13 to turn 14. This is what I like about this track. You can fight all the way through the end of here. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he will. Jordan has the outside line, a much better run out of that corner, and he stays ahead. Unfortunately for Warren, has dropped as Gooley's finally got past Young Lights. Gavin's there as well, coming through turn 18, coming through turn 19 as well, and Gavin's ahead of Young Lights, which is rather crucial for him, and that's a racing point who's going to pit for a brand new set of mediums. That's pure fantasy, ending his soft stint, so let's see where he rejoins. And Tease Leroy has got Young Lights ahead of him with DRS, of course. Let's see how hard he will fight this. Will he go down the inside? He will look to. He will try to. And he's done it, but Young Lights will fight back into turn 2, 3 and 4. One of them will have to yield eventually, but which one will do it? Oh, that was always going to happen. That was always going to happen. Reset to track as well. Don't blame him for that one, but that was always going to happen. I could see it coming. I could really see it coming. I think that's a racing incident. Well, one of them should have backed out, but that's a racing incident, I would call it. Hello, Cohen. Ten-man lap all Valentino has on those medium tyres. Obviously, he'll go from mediums to softs. Got Jordan catching him, so how's the guys behind him? What have we got further down the field? We've still got Leroy and Gavin fighting. They were fighting early on in the stint on the softs. Leroy got past Gavin on the straight. And Laggy Race has got past Young Lights as well. Young Lights tyres will start to overheat because of that spin he had. So not giving up is the Alpha driver. Euro Games interesting, he's got to hard tyres now. What lap did he pit? I'll have to wait to see what happens further at the front. What lap did he pit? Yeah, of course, it was lap 11. So what did he start on the mediums or softs? He should have gone to the medium tyres. I think the hards were a bit slow around this track, so that could possibly cost him. So wrong strategy for Yuri. And look at that, Laggy Racer still fighting Young Lights behind him. Meanwhile, Taze Leroy still on the back of Gavin, and the same here. Warren's struggling through these corners. He's got Guley right behind him as well. And look at that, Yost versus Jordan. I know these two are good friends. Let's see how hard they will fight it. Both of them saving ERS, but Yost has more ERS than Jordan. One saving ERS, look at his ERS, he'll easily get past on the straight by Guley. Fortunately him, he's powerless to defend from Guley. And he's well ahead up into turn 12, into 4th place. What about Gavin and Leroy? Leroy's shot back a bit from Gavin, so but look at that, Young Lights and Laggy Race is still going at it. Both wanted to go down the inside. This could be really bad. Look at that, he's forced him out wide. And they both go off the track, but look at that, look who's that, who is that? That's his teammate. Yuri Gaze has got a pass, so 2 cars in one person's mistake. And ACSC looking to get past. I think that he should give way because ACSC is much faster than Young Lights. And on the fresher tyres, 1 lap fresher, 9 laps fresher, so we should get past for ACSC. Don't really fight this for your teammate on a different strategy. Around the outside into turn 19. Anyways, not seeing much action. They've been stuck in a DRS train, so I wonder if they're waiting for the right opportunity to overtake. I want to see some overtaking happening, but they're just waiting for the long game, I presume. No safety cars and no virtuals yet, so that's very interesting in this race. We had a lot of safety cars and virtuals in the last race. And Taze Leroy is still stuck behind the Dutch driver in 6th place. Alright then, so we're about to see an overtake happening down into turn 12 from Yost. He pulls out, goes down the inside, into turn 12. Jordan tries to outbrake him into turn 12. He goes off the track. And got turn 13 as the inside line, as Jordan will have the outside line. This is good racing from the 2 Dutch drivers, as Jordan stays ahead of Yost. As Leroy has got past Gavin. Gavin took a little bit of a switch back. This is what the corner is all about, as Leroy defends the inside line, which most drivers tend to go for. And Leroy stays ahead of him. There was good fighting from the 2 Dutch drivers up into 2nd and 3rd. Meanwhile, if these 2 continue to fight, they'll bring Guley along with them. And look at that, they've caught up to Gavin as well. Valentino as well. Right then, so Gavin's got DRS at the back of Leroy, but is way too far back to make any move on him. ACSC has got DRS on Yuri, but too far back. Young Lights as well on Laggy Racer. Quite a lowly race for V8 Field down in 50th place, just minding his own business. So is Alex as well. Not seeing much of this Haas driver as well. I think he pitted at lap 1, didn't he? Lap 4? Yeah, he did. Onto the hards. Oh, what's gone on here? What has gone off here? Did Valentino just let him through? What's Gavin done? That's a bit confusing. I don't know what happened. I saw someone just slowing down. Was that Valentino let all 3 drivers go, didn't he? Or did he make a mistake coming out of turn 10? As Yost decides not to make the move into turn 12 on Jordan. I think they tried to both pull away from Guley by Jordan allowing Yost to have DRS. Now those 2 sometimes work together, but look at Leroy and Gavin. Down into turn 13 will go. Gavin has the outside, more speed on the outside as he converts into the inside line. This is good racing from the 2. And they're still side by side as well. Going down into turn 17 and 18. This is very close race from the two. This is what I like to see. Gavin has the inside line, but Leroy will try and stick it around the outside. I wonder how they don't spin and make contact through there. Coming through the last corner. And he's still side by side. Look at him. And Gavin eventually makes the move, but none of them have DRS. In fact, Gavin does, but he's not using it. As Leroy goes down the inside into turn 1. And Chapelele's left the session, obviously. Gavin has more speed around the outside. At the exit of turn 1. Now remember, yeah, he's done it. He's healed out. Don't really want to go side by side through here, as Young Lights has experienced. As Young Lights talk about him, has just got past Laggy Racer. It's turn 1. Right, so the top 3 again. Lap 15, let's see. Jordan's much closer. I mean, Yost is much closer to Jordan. Will Jordan have DRS? No, he won't. I thought he would off the next aspect, but it's too far back. As he defends the inside line, both of them going at it again. It's turn 12. They both make contact. I wonder if they got both confused by the Toro Rosso driver, the other Toro Rosso driver, being a ghost. Hopefully they haven't lost part of their front wing, as Leroy's got past Gavin for the 5th time in this race. Yeah, both made contact. Probably both shouted at each other in the party. I know these two work together in the parties, as ACSC has got past Yuri. Right, so any more action? Laggy Racer versus Young Lights again. This is good action. I'm really enjoying this race, you know. Laggy Racer had the inside line. Both made contact. Keep it nice and cool from the two drivers, as Young Lights defends the inside line, coming into turn 16, and he's ahead. As Jordan has been overtaken by Yost. Yost has made his move into turn 1. Both swapping positions for probably the first time in this race. Yost will now have a taste of this lead, as Jordan's picked up a penalty as well, as Leroy and Gavin are still fighting, coming through turn 3, 4, 5 and 6, as Gavin smartly backs out of it, doesn't want to go side by side through here. But the dirty air not helping whatsoever through these corners. As Laggy Racer and Young Lights are still fighting, Laggy Racer has got past Young Lights and he's up into 10th place. The Belgian driver ahead, up into 10th on the final point. Young Lights has got a penalty as well. Look at that, Jordan more overspeed on Yost as he saves ERS, both of them do. Easy move for Jordan. Didn't really have to fight it out too much. But I'm enjoying seeing this racing from both of them, both Dutch drivers putting a good show for us, up into 1st and 2nd. And Leroy and Gavin are still fighting as we go down into turn 12. And Gavin's well ahead of Leroy. Laggy Racer and Young Lights, as I said, are still fighting. Multiple drivers are still fighting for the same position. As Young Lights goes down the inside into turn 12. Who's that racing point behind him? That's the Pure Fancies, isn't it? Pure Fancies just biding his time, waiting for these two to probably make a mistake, which they haven't done so far. On the much better tyres is Pure Fantasy, as he almost spun, picked up way too much throttle and turned 16. I love to see these two fight, but I think the gap between 1st and 2nd is more important. No, it isn't, because they're through the sector 1, so no overtake will happen through there. Both of them have DRS. I wonder how Young Lights got DRS. I don't have a clue how we got it, but anyways, Young Laggy Racer want to go down the inside into turn 1. Laggy Racer goes deep, and that's allowed Young Lights to switch back through. And what about Pure Fancies? They both go side by side now. I wonder if Pure Fancies has the better cornering speed, as yeah, Laggy Racer's on those older tyres, so they expect him to stay ahead. And yet again, Yost using Jordan for DRS and slipstream to keep ahead of Guley. Good tactic from the two, as Pure Fancies picks up a time penalty in the most common places to pick up a time penalty as well. What about Gavin and Leroy? Are they still fighting? Yes, they are. They're still close to each other. And Leroy is using no ABS, so I'm not seeing him use no ABS in League Racing. I think he said he switched onto it, switched off it, sorry. He turned ABS off for the first time, and he's looked like he's doing a good job as well. I tried it, but I struggled with no ABS. I'm not confident breaking into deep corners like that, as Warren picks up a time penalty. Where is Warren, in fact? 4th place, so he's not really in the back of this, just minding his own business down in 4th place. Valentino finally pits, and he's going onto the soft tyres for the remaining 10 laps of this race. As Pure Fancies made his move on Young Lights, coming through turn 17, and yeah, Pure Fancies is ahead of Young Lights. So the battle for the top 3 again, as both, I bet Guli's absolutely frustrated because the DRS train that Joost has on Jordan must be absolutely frustrated. I would be complaining that those two, but the more towards the end of the race he'll get more tasty because Joost wants the victory off of Jordan, of course. That means Guli will eventually join in on this fight. All he's done is just stay behind him. No real moves is made from him. I wonder if Joost will overtake here. Got over speed, and yes he will. Up into turn 12, he's done it. They're still side by side. Oh, very close between each other. Still side by side. Coming turn 13, 14, through turn 15 as well. Coming into turn 16. Joost has the inside line, which is the most preferred way, and Jordan has to give way to his, well, not his teammate, but his friend. As Leroy has got past Gavin Ferrari yet again, probably for the 7th time in this race. As Gavin's going to go for the switchback, which he does against a much better exit quick at turn 16, coming to turn 17 and 18. Well, both made contact. Hopefully he hasn't got any front wing damage. Valentino has rejoined down in 9th place. Not a bad position, is it? There he is, on those fresher set of softs. We'll be hoping for a safety car, but unfortunately for him, has not appeared. Oh, he actually hits the wall. They both want to go down the inside, as Gavin's gone down in turn 1. As Leroy backs out of that one, probably waiting for the DRS on the long straight. But anyways, look at that, Joost and Jordan are still fighting for first place. This has been a fantastic race. I've absolutely enjoyed it. Action happening everywhere. And we're on lap 19 as well. Who's going to win out of these 3? Joost, Jordan or Guli? Or possibly Warren, if these 3 make a mistake somehow. And he goes for it. Down the inside goes Jordan into turn 12. He's done it on Joost. But he will use to get a better exit. No, he won't. Won't go side by side through here. But look at Guli looking interested as well. All 3 of these drivers pitted on the same lap. So all 3 drivers have the same wear and experience on these set of tyres. And Gavin and Leroy are still fighting down into turn 12. We go. This is absolutely fantastic racing. This is what I like to see from the 2 drivers. Joost picks up a tyre penalty. I don't want to check the tyre penalties because I don't want to spoil the race, and I want to see the action as well. As Gavin's ahead of Leroy. Your game's catching to ACSC, but at the same time Valentino's there as well on a fresher set of soft tyres, so it'll be easier for him to catch up. This has been a fantastic race. I've absolutely enjoyed it. Young Lights has got past Alex. In fact, they're still side by side coming through turn 13, but Alex has to yield and he's struggling through these corners. The top 3 then, who's going to win out of these 3? I think, judging from what I've seen, is that Guli could win this race because I've not seen him pick up a tyre penalty. Maybe he's got one, but maybe I'm not seeing it pop on the screen because I've been focused on the action too much. Definitely know that Jordan and Joost has got 1 or 2, so Guli could possibly win this race if he keeps clean on penalties or keeps out of trouble. At the same time, Warren could be in 2nd place because of these 2 tyre penalties. I think he's picked up 1 or none. I don't actually know if he's got picked up a 1 or not. Go back on Gavin, but Leroy's dropped a bit from Gavin, so Gavin's safe at the moment from Leroy. But Valentino though, the guy that went from mediums to softs, is on the back of Euro Games. At the same time, he's on the back of ACSC as Leggy Racer picks up a time penalty. Headed down to turn 12. ACSC's gone wide a bit through turn 12. Look at that, Valentino right up behind him. Going to have much better corner speed and traction through, and he's done it. He's going to go down the inside. Will Yuri see him? Try and sticks it around the outside, but that's a fight he was always going to lose. No offense, because he's on those fresher soft tyres compared to Yuri's hard. Meanwhile, the top 3 are still fighting, as Leroy picks up a time penalty. At the same time, he's got DRS on the back of Gavin, but Gavin looks safe as he heads down into turn 1. So far, this race has been absolutely enjoyable. Every single lap something's happened. Overtakes have happened, beautiful side-by-side racing. This has been a much better race compared to last week's. Look at Yuli saving all of his ERS on 100% as well, so he can play as much ERS as he wants on these 2 drivers. Much more to play for as Yuri picks up a time penalty. And I expect an overtake happen between ACSC and Valentino as well soon. I wonder if Leroy can stay on the back of Gavin, which he is doing, but a bit too far away despite having DRS. The top 2 are probably working to each other. I know these 2 are good friends, Jordan and Joost, to keep Gulli behind them. But I have no idea who's going to win this race. Probably towards lap 25 and 6 we'll see some more action, as the drivers are going to fight for try and get to first place as well. Valentino's ahead of ACSC, so he's up in 7th, and he's got 5 seconds on the back of Gavin and Leroy. So let's see how much he can catch up to those 2. So, aspects were lapped. Any more further gaps behind? Leroy's still got a 6/10 gap behind Gavin. Let's see if we can still have a good battle between those 2. Anyways, the main eyes are on the top 3 as ACSC's picked up a time penalty. I think these 2 are working together to try and keep Gulli behind him as much as possible. And congratulations to getting to VRT as well, Gulli. Very quick driver, experienced in different league races as well. The closest I've been to Gulli is off the line, and that's it. Never saw him again. I think he's lapped me a couple of times. I'm joking, I don't think he has. Jordan trying to bait the slipstream from Joost as they saves ERS. Jordan needs to save much more ERS as possibly he can through the final sector as well, because look how much Gulli and Joost has got. Leroy's got closer to Gavin, but is it close? Nah, he's put it down to 2, so he won't get the speed he wants down the straight. But look at the background, there's Valentino, not too far away from Leroy and Gavin. He's dragging along ACSE as well. Yuri's done a good job on these hard tyres. He's up into 9th place, ahead of his teammate Pure Advances. Gulli could possibly pick up his first time penalty. I don't know if it's his first. I'm not seeing him, unless I forgot, of course, but it's his first time penalty, or second. If one can keep clean of this race, he could possibly be in 2nd place, because I know the top 2 have got quite a few time penalties. Right then, so further behind Gavin and Leroy, and these 2 will not fight, I don't think. Nah, too far away. ACSC, interestingly, still at the back of Gavin. I thought Gavin would have pulled away. Sorry, Valentino. I thought Valentino would have pulled away from ACSC, but still dragging along. This could be very interesting how it pans out, because we're on to lap 23. Who is the owner of this league? V8 field. He's down in 15th, mate. He's down in 15th. If you're looking to race at 12 PM, then feel free. It is quite full, but look at that. Yusuf gone down the inside into turn 12. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. He pushes Jordan out wide. And I wonder when Gulli will have a... oh, he's been disqualified. How many corners has he caught to be disqualified? Very interesting. I think it's... yeah, it is V8. It is his Discord, mate. Leroy is 4/10 behind Gavin. But interestingly, I thought Valentino would close up quite quickly to Leroy and Gavin, being on those fresher soft tyres as well. And I thought he would have pulled away from ACSC behind him. But he's dragging him along as VRT1 is in the pits, so... I don't know. He's got a gap over Gavin of 14 seconds, so he will drop back from these 2. Possibly Valentino. Yeah, I think he will drop from Valentino, as Valentino's picked up a penalty. onto the soft tyres he goes. So I don't know what he's thinking. He's going to drop back 2 positions unless Valentino overtakes him, which he doesn't. So he stays ahead of Valentino. So he's up into 6th place. He's got 4 laps to try and catch Leroy and Gavin. But anyways, who's going to win? Joost, Jordan or Gulli? Don't know, but it could be very interesting. As Live Now's overtaken next is Aspect, but Aspect's a ghost and he's out of the session, so we don't need to worry about him. Too far back to make any move down into turn 12. I can't wait to see who's going to win this race. Hopefully be a good battle between the top 3. Interestingly, I thought Valentino will pull away from ACSC, but no, he's still there, dragging him along with DRS. So I wonder what's happened to Valentino's pace, whether he's just settling in to 7th place. As we go on to lap 25, 3 laps left of this race. I wonder what these 3 are going to do. When are these 3 going to make their move? As we've got 3 laps to go of this race. It's been a very good race to watch. Enjoyed it so far, but hopefully there'll be more action towards the end of the race, because the top 3 have been very close to each other ever since the get-go of this race. And yeah, Dylan Warren's caught up very quickly to tase Leroy and Gavin as well, so expect them to be under pressure from Warren soon. Anyway, back to the top 3 as they're coming onto the long straight. Yeah, Joost's got more ERS compared to Jordan, and look at that, Gulli's got more ERS compared to both of them. In fact, combined actually. Got some back markers ahead of them, but they left the session. Oh, Warren's going to go down the inside of Leroy. It's turn 11. But he will have DRS, but not Warren has DRS as well on the back of Gavin. The 2 Dutch drivers, which one of them is going to win this race? Penalties will depend on it as well. Down the inside goes Warren on Gavin. He pushes him off the track, but Gavin stays ahead for the moment at least. And there's yellow flags because the Ferrari has spun. As Warren's got past Gavin. But he needs to be careful because Leroy's right behind him as well. But he stays ahead of Leroy. And Pure Fantasy's got past the Haas. Up into 10th place. He's on the hards. Who's that for? That's Laggy Racer who's spun. Anyways, Jordan versus Joost into turn 1 as Joost stays ahead of Jordan. But what about Gulli behind him? A bit too far back. 2 laps to go this race. These 2 have put on a good show for 2 Dutch drivers, but which one of them will win it? I would say save ERS, because look at his ERS compared to Joost. Gulli, the Frenchman, needs to start making a move now if he wants to win this race. I can't wait to see I can't wait for this good battle to see how it performs in front of them. And Jordan's got past him, and he clears his line as well ahead of Joost. Laggy Racer pays up a time, but what about Leroy and Gavin? Leroy a bit too far back to pressurize Gavin, but look at that, Valentino is under pressure from ACSC. Like I said earlier on, I thought he would pull away, and now he's under pressure from him. So I don't know what happened to Valentino's pace. Valentino trying to break the slipstream as we head down this turn 12. He doesn't make the move. As Pure Fantasy's on the back of the Haas driver as well. The Haas driver's got back pass over Pure Fantasy, defends the inside line. Down this turn 12 we go for the Racing Point driver. Can he make it around the outside? I can't really watch these 2 because look at the top 3, they're very close together. Unfortunately I can't watch that battle. Yes I can, because they're not battling right now. They're still side by side coming into turn 16. He has the switchback, does the Haas driver. And Warren's just set the fastest lap of this race as well. Look at that, Valentino still under pressure from ACSC. can't make a move down this turn 1, so I'll spectate these two. Or these three, shall I say. 2 laps to go of this race. Gulli wants to win, he needs to start making moves now. Jordan defended the inside line as much as he can because Jost has to go the long way around, which is not the preferred way. There's a Ferrari ahead of him. This is close racing, don't take each other out. Coming to turn 13. Hopefully that driver gets out of the way for both of them because he can distract him to goes to cars. And he's got it covered, has Jordan, but look at that, Gulli going very wide. And the Ferrari's got a back past him. I know he's a ghost of car, but still gets out of the way. This is ruining the action here. And ACSC still fighting with Valentino coming down this turn 12 as he's made the move up into 7th place. Anyways, we're on to the last lap. Who's going to win this race? Jordan versus Jost as Valentino's left the session. Down the inside into turn 1. Can he do it? Yes, he has. He hasn't outbroke himself, but Jost does the switch back too far away as Joey Gates has got past Valentino. I don't know why Valentino's left, whether he's had enough or not. Anyway, our last lap battle, which we always like to see between Red Bull and Toro Rosso, as Jordan picks up another time penalty. This could lead Gulli to win this race. All Gulli's done in this race is just sat back and just watched these two fight. Hopefully he can get involved as well on this last lap. But anyways, we're coming down into turn 11. Right, Jordan going defensive instantly, trying to break that slipstream as much as he can. Look at him. Can only move once while defending, and Jost going to go down the inside into turn 13. Will Jordan outbreak him? Ooh, he's going to be very close. Oh, he's going to... Oh, he picked up way too much throttle, and Gulli's got past him as well. Jost making a mistake getting on the power too early, which caused him to slide out, but fortunately did not spin. Jordan trying to make his way back through, but unfortunately cannot do it, unless his chances are over to try to overtake Gulli. So let's see who's going to win this race then. It's all going to come down to penalties to see who's going to win this race. But look at that, Gavin and Leroy still close, but not close enough. Been a fantastic race to watch as Jost comes across the line too. Oh, so it stays in the order then. So Jost comes across the line to finish in first, Gulli in second, Jordan in third. As Dylan Warren will finish in 4th place as there's a last lap move from Pure Fantasies who's fighting the Hassan. He's going to go down the inside of turn 13, he's going to spin and he spun. Warren finishes in 4th. Ahead of Gavin and Leroy who had an amazing battle in this race. Gavin finishes in 4th ahead of Leroy. ACSC finishes 7th ahead of Yuri Games in 8th. Pure Fantasies will finish in 9th. There it is as the Hash driver finishes 10th. Valentino will finish in 11th despite him leaving the session. I don't know why he left the session. Lager race, so next is Aspect Live now. Chapalela come across the line to finish their race. He will finish in 12th place as V8 had a very lowly race, started 13th place. Comes across the line to finish in 13th. The last car to come across the line. It's been an absolute fantastic race to watch. There it is then. Dutch driver finishing in first ahead of the Frenchman, then Jordan in third. Apparently I can't show the podium celebrations because I'll get copyrighted by Formula 1 management, which I've been copyrighted twice before. Look at that, all drivers getting a penalty. Jost and Jordan only had 3 seconds. Jost and Gulli only had 3 seconds. Jordan at 9, VLT1 finishing 4th ahead of Gavin, Taze in 6th ahead of ACSC, Yuri in 8th ahead of his teammate in 9th place, the Hash driver finishing in 10th ahead of Valentino, Young Lights at 12th ahead of V8, Laggy Racer, Nexus Aspect, Live Now, Chapalele, there's your DNS. Baboon J, NUF1 and Alex who got disqualified. Probably cutting too many corners. But that was an absolutely fantastic race to watch. Absolutely enjoyed it. Hope we can have more like that next week. If you're interested in joining this league, message V8 Field. There's his PSN down in, where is he? 13th place, V8 Field. 12 PM midday, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a good race.